Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
Inolin, soy Daniel Pineda. ¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo está,
My,
Doña Pineda?
my name's Adele Quo.
And this is our, I guess, our Palm Sunday show,
Yeah.
if you want to look at it that way. A couple of weeks before Easter,
Yep.
2015
That's
rolling by here. We have our usual lineup for you, news. Right after the news is Adele with
And
It's
Easy
Being
Being
Green. Adele is back from her assignment
That's right. You'll
out
hear
there
all
into
about
the
it.
hinterlands, and we'll hear about that at some point, I'm sure. Nort Beckerman and his Brain Healthy Minute segment, our CBB Community Bulletin Board file, News for Seniors, and Miriam Gennari is here with an interview. Her guest tonight, Michael Swisher. That's our show, but before we begin, a social media reminder from my
Absolutely,
partner.
Mr. Nolan. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1. And also facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News. Craig.
All right, thanks, Daniel. Here we go. News for Seniors glasses in place. And they're working tonight. Here we go, our first story. Well, police need your help looking for a Maryland teenager who went missing at Pentagon City here in Arlington. 13-year-old Kaylee Elizabeth Rivera Ortiz was last seen at the Fashion Center at Pentagon City on Tuesday, March 24. She is Hispanic, about 4'11" in height, weighing about 140 pounds. She has long black hair with a purple or reddish tint in her hair and also wears it in a ponytail. The young woman was last seen wearing a green jacket, blue jeans, black shoes, and holding a large brown purse. She may be in need of her medication. If you have any information, they're asking you to call this number. Here it is, 301-749-5064. Daniel.
And Craig, Yorktown High School was recognized for its amazing music education program. They won the Support Music Merit Award from the NAMM Foundation. NAMM is a nonprofit focused on developing active participation in music production through scientific research, philanthropic giving, and public service programs. Yorktown High School is one of 120 U.S. schools that won the award this year. To learn more about the NAMM Foundation, just visit their website. That's at nammfoundation.org.
That's a good deal. Congratulations to
Absolutely.
Yorktown High School. Also in our school news, if you will, and other arts in the schools news, almost 60 Arlington Public School students won awards for their writing this month. The Scholastic Art and Writing Awards gives national honors to less than 1% of 200,000 entries received from all across the country. 58 of these writing awards went to Arlington school students. The Alliance for Young Artists and Writers partnered with over 100 related organizations to run and organize the program. Winning entries can be read in their national catalog, Best Teen Writing and Spark, which you can read at the county schools and at the library. So congratulations. Daniel.
And Craig, it's not only APS students who are winning big. Key Elementary School's reading specialist earned the Virginia State Reading International Literacy Scholarship. Kathy Davin spent time in Guatemala focused on first language literacy and vocabulary development in a second language. She watched classes, led workshops, and helped local teachers with their lesson plans. Davin will share her group's experiences and insights at the VSRA conference in 2016. For more information, visit their website. That's at gwrc.net. Craig.
All right, Daniel. In county news now, County Treasurer Carla de la Pava announced a new parking payment system. Heads up on this one, Easy Park is an in-vehicle parking meter that covers your metered parking, coin and credit card free. Visit www.easyparkusa.com at Arlington to get more details. This alternative to the previous system, iPark, which was acquired because of the vendor company iPark, is closing down and going out of business. However, existing iPark tickets can still be used and reloaded into iPark for now. Customers can reload their iPark over the phone. Here's their number, 703-228-3082, or at the Arlington County Treasurer's Office located at 2100 Clarendon Boulevard, and then go to window 215. Daniel.
Well, correct. Cyclists will want to run over the next county proposal. As a cost of cutting measures, County Manager Barbara Donnellan has proposed that the Arlington County Board cut $800,000 from Bike Arlington's budget for FY 2015-16. Bike advocates say the cut would be a huge mistake. Craig.
Bikers making their thoughts known on that one for sure. Well, a well-known local trail has just been added to a beer guide for the D.C. area bicyclists. Bikeable Brews added Arlington's Custis Trail to their directory, a listing of craft brewery watering holes near trails. So for you bikers who like to have a cold one along the way, check that out. Well, there has been a proposal to reduce tree plantings in Arlington County from about 700 a year to 440 a year. It has been estimated that the reduction would save only about $66,000 a year. Tree planting falls under the P&R budget, but maintaining a good tree canopy is a key element in Arlington's stormwater management program. Since there are between 600 and 700 trees lost every year, the proposed cut, however, would result in a continuous reduction in the tree canopy. Interested groups have expressed concern that the savings are minor compared to the relatively modest cost of tree planting and their significant benefits. So for you tree people, heads up on that one. All right, we'll be back with our CBB and Nort Beckerman and other stuff in this edition of the Arlington Weekly News right after we hear from Adele Quo and
It's easy being green.
Here's Adele.
And Adele, I know you want a cold one.
We want those trees. Okay, it's easy
Cold one
being
under the
green.
tree,
That's
maybe.
right.
Okay.
Cold one under the tree. I
Oh
like
my
that one.
goodness. It's easy being green. I'm here with Joe Tree Frog because we want to welcome spring. Growing up, I remember watching for crocuses as a sign of early spring and then enjoying daffodils and colorful tulips. While short-lived, their beauty was worth waiting for each spring. But most of these bulbs are imported from other countries. So before development, our natural habitat in Northern Virginia was covered by deciduous forest. And every spring, our native early spring ephemerals emerge to enjoy the available sunlight and favorable soil conditions just before the deciduous trees leaf out. If you've ever wondered what to plant under the shade of your oaks and maples, plant our native ephemerals such as Spring Beauty, Trillium, and Virginia Bluebells. They make a stunning presentation en masse. And when they die back, other native summer and fall perennials can fill the spaces that they vacate. So it's time to recognize their allure and beauty in your landscape. April is the best month to get outside and catch sight of these extraordinary flowers that grace our landscape for this short time. They're usually found in our woods, in the rich and moist soils near streams. It's fun to hunt for our native wildflowers with someone who knows the best places to look. Many of the Virginia Native Plant Society, or VNPS chapters, offer free wildflower walks. You can check their online calendar of events on the website on your screen, which is vnps.org/events. And all over Fairfax County, their nature centers and parks will host wildflower walks to see our wonderful early spring ephemerals. Find out more and register online at ParkTakes website, which is fairfaxcounty.gov/parks/parktakes. You'll have to do a search by a keyword wildflower, and then 8 class results will show up. So shake off your winter doldrums and celebrate spring. It's also time to plant. So watch your screen and jot down the native plant sales that are springing up this April. At these native plant sales, you'll find healthy plants and a wonderful and unique selection. Remember, it's easy being green with our native spring ephemerals and our April native plant sales.
Good
I hope to see
job.
you
Great
there.
job.
Plant sales can't go too far wrong buying a plant.
You were definitely on
Planting
special
it,
assignment.
planting it.
Right, I'm well rested for
Well
spring.
rested.
Ready.
Good job, appreciate it. Thanks, Adele.
Thank you, Adele.
Okay, we'll be back with our CBB file right after we hear from Nort Beckerman and his Brain Healthy Minute. Here's Nort.
Hi, I'm Nort Beckerman, the Brain Health Coach. You've given your brain a name, Jeremy, Paula, whatever. You are responsible for taking care of that 3-pound person. What do they need? They need to process new information. They need to learn. When that person was little, Mom and Dad were teaching it all kinds of things, from walking, talking, to how to eat. They were nurturing and providing care. All this new exposure allowed genetically derived cells to connect with experience-dependent cells. Then your little person started going to school, and it learned even more, some formal, some informal. But it kept learning. It kept using those cells, providing them with water and nutrition. While all of this was going on, your little person was physically active, playing, getting involved in sports, camping, hiking, riding a bike. It was great fun. But your little person needed that physical activity then, and it needs it throughout life. Physical activity keeps the blood flowing, keeps the blood vessels soft and flexible, and generates a growth factor needed to produce new experience-dependent cells. If you're going to take care of that little person, you need to keep it exposed to new things, learning, and being physically active throughout life. I'm Nort Beckerman, the Brain Health Coach. I'll see you next time for a Brain Healthy Minute.
All right, thanks, Nort. Nort
you, Nort.
Beckerman and his Brain Healthy Minute. Learn something new every day. Train your brain. Okay, here we go now, as promised, with our CBB file, Community Bulletin Board. Arlington Independent Media, our very own AIM, right here where we're producing this show, is getting ready to open its much-anticipated audio production facility. On Monday, April 6, AIM members can attend a demo of the equipment, sign up for certification classes, and munch on hors d'oeuvres and chat with other attendees, network a little bit. This event runs from 5 to 10 p.m. The new addition will allow AIM members to add some new tricks to their production wheelhouses, including podcasting and radio broadcasts on the new station WERA. So that's coming up 6 April. Mark that on your calendars. Daniel.
Well, Craig, if you know any kids between 9 and 13 years old who will have nothing to do this summer, well, then consider sending them right over here, Arlington Independent Media Summer Camp. At Ames Video Production Camp, students will collaborate to develop a storyline, script, and shoot it, then edit the footage into a short production. Along the way, they will get an introduction to media literacy and critical thinking. There are 2 sessions, each with a maximum of 9 participants. Each session will consist of 10 8-hour days. Visit arlingtonmedia.org to enroll and learn more.
All right, Daniel, also in our CBB file, well, for slightly older kids, the Document Arlington Project is looking for 6 interns to create 2 short documentaries about Arlington community. This 6-week paid apprenticeship teaches Arlington High School students how to make a documentary. You can visit www.arlingtonmedia.org or give them a call, 703-524-2388 for more information. Daniel.
Well, Craig, a warm weather-friendly activities you may have abandoned this summer are lunchtime food truck runs. If you work near Crystal Drive between 18th and 20th Streets, then you may want to get your lunchtime food truck fixed every Thursday. That's from now until September. The food trucks will be in the parking lot on Crystal Drive between 18th and 20th Streets from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Be sure to look up your favorite vendors on social media so you can find out their schedules. Craig.
All right, Daniel, also on our CBB file, well, another warm weather activity some people may have missed out on over the winter is outdoor running. 5K Fridays starting at 6:30 p.m. are being held down in Crystal City every Friday in April. Those will be Fridays the 3rd, the 10th, the 17th, and the 24th. You can join in one of the most popular fun races in town. Race to their website, www.runpacers.com/race for details on the 5K Fridays and other races around town. And also some information now for Easter egg hunters of all ages, for kids of all ages. There'll be an egg extravaganza coming up Saturday, March 30 at 9:30 to noon at Trinity Presbyterian Church, located at 5533 North 16th Street here in Arlington. And then a second egg extravaganza will be held on Thursday, April 2nd, from 10 to noon. There's a $10 charge per child in advance, or $12 when you show up. Accompanied adults are free. That's good. The location is 6060 Wilson Boulevard here in Arlington. Daniel.
Well, Craig, moving on to our senior stories for the week. AARP's two-day safe driving class will be held. That's Thursday, April the 2nd, and Friday, April the 3rd, from 9 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. Walter Reed Senior Center. Learn current rules of the road, defensive driving techniques, and how to operate a car in today's increasingly challenging environment. The cost is $20 and $15 for AARP members. Give them a call. That's at 703-228-0955 to register. Craig.
All right, Daniel. And Danielle Gross, who is a physical therapist at ACE Physical Therapy, will discuss common orthopedic ailments and how to alleviate the pain. That's coming up Tuesday, March 31st at 11 in the morning in Arlington Mills Senior Center. She will explain how orthopedics can help correct or ease the discomfort of disorders relating to spine and all the other joints in your body. Register for this free program by calling Arlington Mill. Here's their number, 703-228-7369. Daniel.
Well, Craig, the old Edison Ambarola tabletop phonograph from the 1900s was considered to be the best in producing quality sound. A demonstration of the Ambarola will take place. That's Tuesday, March the 31st at 11:15 a.m. at Lee Senior Center, followed by a discussion of music technology. To register for this free program, just give them a call, 703-228-0555. Craig.
And also in our News for Seniors file, Culpeper Gardens Senior Center will show a DVD with rare behind-the-scenes footage of the Vatican. That's coming up Friday, April 3rd at 1 in the afternoon. The DVD explores the Vatican's history, traditions, and ceremonies, plus its secret archives, private chapels, and papal quarters. Register early for this free event at Culpeper Gardens Senior Center. Here's their number, 703-228-4403. Daniel.
And Craig, our last story for today, Arlington Mills Senior Center needs volunteers on Friday, April the 3rd from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. to help make lunches and hygiene kits for Arlington Street People's Assistance Network, better known as ASPAN. For more information, give Jennifer Weber at Arlington Mill a call. That's at 703-22-7369. It's also in the graphic below.
Okay, cool. And also, as always, thanks to Judy Masabny of OSAP for helping us.
Thank you, Judy.
And sending these announcements. We'll be back with a quick bye-bye if we have time, right after we hear from Miriam Gennari and her guest. Here's Miriam.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. I'm Miriam Gennari, and I've lived in Arlington for 11 years, and I've tried to be an active citizen, but nothing compared to my guest today, Michael Swisher, who has worked with Arlington students, youth, families for 17 years in the Parks and Recreation, not just developing programming, but really reaching out to the community. And more recently, he took on a position with Arlington's Partnership for Children, Youth, and Families. And I'm really glad to have you at the post. How are you, Michael?
I'm well. I'm very happy to be here.
Now, not everyone knows about the partnership, so could you just tell us a little bit about this? Because this is really the best of Arlington.
I think so too. It's really kind of a powerful model. What it is, and I'd like to tell it, about 15 years ago, some people, all these different agencies in Arlington that work together, that work with children, youth, and families, didn't really talk. And someone said, we should probably talk. So when you think of schools, Department of Human Services, Parks and Recreation, libraries, the police department, and family domestic relations courts, they all work with children, youth, and families, but didn't talk, and they started working together. And then the county saw this and said, well, let's do something with this, and created a commission that includes representatives from these different agencies and then 16 community members. So we're actually bringing together county, schools, and community to look at what are some of the priorities, where are some strategies, where do we need to focus to improve life for children, youth, and families.
These are all really supportive services. I mean, you have the parks and recreation, but sometimes people forget that the investing in those programs are really a big support to families, especially if they're working and they can't be there for their kids. So tell me a little bit about how you figure out where the needs are in Arlington.
So a lot of what we do, really, we don't provide direct service. We're more, I liken us to a think tank in a sense. What we do is we collect data. We like to speak of, we do research, we collect data, we engage the community, and then advocate where we feel some of the priority areas are. The research, that data comes from our own students. We survey kids. We have 2 different surveys we do on a 3-year cycle. One is the Youth Risk Behavior Survey. So as you can tell from the title, all the things they're doing that we don't want them to do. The next one is called the Developmental Asset Survey, and this is really, it's a measure of things that they have in their lives that are supportive. Developmental assets, it's a youth development model that was put together by Search Institute about 35 years ago. Peter Benson, the founder, really wanted to know, why is it that some kids who, regardless of what their background is, can thrive and succeed?
Right. How come the ones that don't have cell phones and really fancy sneakers get scholarships?
Can still do
What's
it.
going on?
But why is it they can't? And it's because as they followed kids' research, they discovered, basically came up with a list of 40 things that kids should have. It's around supports, it's around empowerment, boundaries and creative activities, their investment in school, their own values, and then how they get along with others and how they feel about themselves. That's, in a nutshell, what developmental assets are.
So you survey and you get this information and you get it from children. And so what do you do with this information and what comes of it?
That's where we look at it and say, where do we need to focus our energy? And we've done this over the past 15 years with the partnership, and at one point about 10 years ago, we recognized that students were drinking. There was a lot of alcohol use. It led to the creation of the READY Coalition. READY stands for Reduce, Eliminate Alcohol and Drug Use Among Youth. So really a lot of education and campaigning and work around policies to help reduce alcohol use among young people, and it's actually made a difference. We can see that in subsequent surveys.
So what are our problems today?
Today, well actually, so I talked about a 3-year cycle. We have 2 surveys, and there's that 3rd year. We actually produce what's called a report card, the community report card. And what this is brings together data from those surveys and other sources. And so in the creation of this document, really there's a lot of work that goes into it, but we've identified really 4 priority areas right now, where we're seeing issues around bullying. So there's an increase in bullying that's taking place, especially for the first time we've actually surveyed and separated out kids who identify as LGBT or Q.
Wow.
So, and what you see is with bullying, higher incidence of bullying among that population. So there's also issues around childhood obesity, mental health, especially around depressive symptoms and suicide. Again, with our LGBTQ population, higher rates of that. And then finally, family communication. We found, and this is one of the things I'm really doing a lot of work around, 70% of our kids feel loved and supported by their families, but only 32% feel they can talk to mom or dad about difficult issues. If they're not getting their information from their parents, where are they going?
And we can't rely on the internet for them to Google these answers. But I also think that, when you think about how a child must feel and what resources are available to them, the fact that you're bringing these groups together perhaps offers them, if they can't go to their teachers, then perhaps they can speak to someone at Parks and Rec. And certainly if they're in trouble, they're there for counseling and direction as opposed to a punitive kind of situation. But the key really is to have parents involved every step of the way.
Parents and other adults.
So what can you do to get more people involved? What are you working on now?
Well, actually, as a result of the report card, we've got
which everyone should go online and get.
That's right, available on our website.
Okay.
And you can look at all different formats of it. But we're starting our community engagement process. And what this is, it's bringing the community together to look at those 4 priority areas. So we're reaching out to everybody. We're looking for leaders. We're looking for faith communities. We're also looking for people who have expertise and work in these areas, but specifically, like I said, around bullying, around childhood obesity, the mental health, and then the communication with within the family.
Okay, and that's
So-
going to be at Fairlington on April 13th. At
from
what time?
6 to 8 p.m. at Fairlington Community Center. It's 3308 South Stafford Street.
Everyone knows where that is.
Yes.
They need to come because this is a place where they can not only invest in their community, but invest in the sustainability and the long-term future of Arlington.
Yes.
You
absolutely.
bring this whole Arlington thing together. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk to us. I need you to come back and tell us how it's going. Continue the good work, Michael.
Thank you.
All right. And I want to thank all of you for watching The Sustainable Scoop. I'm Miriam Gennari. Back to the news desk.
Here we go. Thanks, Miriam and
Thanks,
Michael
Miriam.
Swisher.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you for watching this, our Palm Sunday edition of
Yep.
the Arlington Weekly News. Anything else to add before we go, folks?
Enjoy the weather, hopefully.
Enjoy the weather.
Spring is coming.
Hopefully spring is just around the corner.
Hopefully it's
and
coming,
We're
yeah.
out of the snow now forever. So
Yeah,
that's
well,
it for
Rich.
us. Have a great week. And if you're there next week, we'll be here next week and we'll do it all again. Have a safe week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks.